Greetings. What is up, everyone? Welcome as we are here for Elite Raceway round number 5 taking place around the Belgium circuit. Now, as per usual, I will show you the drivers championship standings. So as it is right now, it is MK7 Hitch of the Ferrari team in first with 120 points. Myself in second with 114. Mac T, who missed last week's race, he is in third place with 111 points. We have the Modern Chicken in fourth with 81, Andy V in fifth with 72, the Yuppie in sixth, Alex Carew Goat in seventh, Mahmoud eighth, Focoena ninth, and then rounding out the top 10 in 10th place. And then here we have the team standings. So my team, Alpine in first with 142 points, Ferrari in second with 134, McLaren in third, 128, Racing Bulls in fourth with 108, and then the Haas team in fifth with 97 points. So we are here at the Belgium circuit, coming off of a slightly disappointing race, I would say. I guess like coming in second isn't necessarily something that most people would consider disappointing. However, I just knew from last week that I should have had, more than likely had that race won. So unfortunate, but coming into today's session, Belgium, actually my best circuit on the F1 game. So expectations were high coming into this week and this race. So here we are on our out lap, as we are just about to get our first push lap, hot lap started. So you can see going wide through the final turn, DRS wide open, crossing the start finish line. Here we are going into this turn one hairpin, running slightly wide and decent exit. So here we are running up the hill to and through Eau Rouge, and then onto the Kemmel Straight. So it is DRS open at this point, and then you just have a bit of time to collect yourself and think, as here you see as Mac T setting a 141. I'm not sure what that said. I don't know if that was 808 or 868, but he has set the provisional pole position lap. We are in the midst of Sector 2, setting a purple Sector 1, according to the sector times. I'm not exactly sure if that is accurate or not. You can see going through Pouan, taking that pretty well. So now heading into these fast right and left turns, taking it relatively, I guess, cautiously for this first push lap. And then here you're going to see once again having a bunch of straight, lots of time to just collect and gather ourselves. Here, just taking this fast left turn, going slightly onto the grass, unfortunately dead, spotting our brake at just about the 100-meter board, clattering over these curbs. DRS is open, and we set a 142.110 for our first lap. So in all honesty, I was not satisfied with that first push lap, as about an hour prior to this qualifying session I set a 141.3. So being about what, 8/10 off is not that good. So here we are on our second push lap. So again, going up the hill, it is going to be DRS open at this point, and as you can see, we are about 400ths slower than our previous lap. And here you can see, yeah, so now gaining time at this point. So we are about a 10.5 up on our previous time. So doing a lot better on this second run, running slightly wide there, going through that right-hander on the curb on the left side. But as you can see, we're about 3.5 tenths up going through Puan, taking it better than our first push lap. However, here you can see we're slightly losing time. I think that just has to do more so with the way we are using the battery for this push lap. But here you're gonna see we run wide on the left side going onto the curb, and that is us making a huge mistake, and that is going to be this qualifying lap over. As you can see, just waiting for the traffic to go through and then making our way back onto the circuit. So yeah, unfortunately making a mistake on that second push run, and that is going to cost us that second run. So now onto our final push lap. So it is DRS wide open, crossing the start finish line. So braking at about the 100-meter board, going through this hairpin, and there you can see, so we had a slight moment on the exit, and that is going to cost us a bit of time. And it just seemed like through this qualifying session that I just was not on it. I was not like what I'm usually used to when it comes to my qualifying so far this season. I just wasn't on it for this particular qualifying session. So here you can see in the midst of sector 2, we are about 1.5 tenths faster than our first push lap, our fastest push lap. So you can see going through this downhill left-hander, and then now a bit of straight as we head into Puan, and taking it decently well. I'm sure we would have wanted to run a bit slightly wider in the midst of Puan, but still taking it pretty decently. And there you can see once again a mistake made as we go onto the curb, and that costs us quite a bit of time. So I don't know, it just seemed like I was not on it when it came to my qualifying for this particular race week. Here you can see going into the bus stop chicane, we are down on our fastest time. However, you are going to see that we take it a lot better than our fastest time that we did, but only gaining about 1/10 and 200ths, setting a 141.992. So here you're going to see the qualifying results for this race. So it is Mac T in first, MK7 Hitch second, myself third, 50 in fourth, Code in fifth, Mahmoud sixth, Louis Charles seventh, Alex Carew eighth, The Modern Chicken ninth, Andy in 10th, 11th, my teammate T George 12th, Kalman 13th, Fokwena 14th, The Yuppie 15th, Mini Tony 16th, Ricky Stanicki 17th, and Joe Beef in 18th place. So based off of the fact that I set a 141.3 in practice, this was an absolute abomination of a qualifying session. However, as per usual, you have to win the race in the race. So here we are on the grid. It is 4 and 5 red lights, and we are underway for this 22 lap race around Belgium. And here you can see we get an amazing start going up the inside of the McLaren driver, the pole position sitter of Mac T. So we are now side by side with the McLaren driver as he looked to do a switchback, and he was successful in doing that. So he takes back that first place position. Here you can see we are on the battery, but as you can see, MK7 Hitch to the back and left of us is making a run on ourselves. We go side by side through these right and left hand turns, and he makes his way past ourselves. So we make our way into first off of turn 1. As you can see, MK7 Hitch with a slight lock up. We make our way into first through turn 1. However, we then lose it through the Camel straight, and that puts us back into our starting position where we started for this race. So good start. It seems as if I always have my race starts pretty much mastered at this point, but Unfortunately, we drop back down to our starting position. So as you can see, it is at Matt T in first, MK7 Hitch in second, myself in third, 50 in fourth, and then Mahmood in fifth place. We are just behind MK7 Hitch at this point. So you can see there's a yellow flag. Looked like MK7 Hitch was looking to make a move, and then he has a slight lockup as well. So here we are at the end of lap 1. In third, Macti setting the fastest lap of the race. So now going through turn 1 through the hairpin, and as you can see, MK7 Hitch getting a much better exit than ourselves. We are on the battery, trying to stay within the 1 second to be able to get DRS on the Ferrari driver. And we do manage to get DRS, but we are very low on the battery. And here you could see 50 of the Aston Martin team makes his way past ourselves to go up into third place. So as it is right now, we are just, I mean, dropping down the field to an extent. So here we are at the beginning of lap number 3, going through turn 1. And here you can see once again, it just seemed as if everyone was getting better exits than myself going through turn 1. And for this particular time, we were not able to stay within 1 second of 50 at the DRS detection line. So we do not get DRS going down the Camel Straight. Here you can see the Modern Chicken makes his way past ourselves to go up into 4th place. We drop down to 5th as we also get a track limits warning. And here you can see a safety car has come out. So as we're going to fast forward a little bit, it is now time to make a decision. Now, because we have dropped down all of these positions, we decide that we are going to take a bit of a gamble and stay out, not pitting during this safety car period. So that is going to gain us track position as we are now in 1st place. And the other thing that I knew is that I was doing well so far in the race as far as my tire management was concerned. So I kind of wanted to take a risk for position. And I also thought, as you can see, we skipped to the midst, I guess you'll call it the midst, the beginning of sector 3 on lap 5. The safety car is coming in. I thought to myself that there was going to be another safety car that was going to come out. So if I was to either get a gap on whoever is in second and or work together with another driver and gain a bit of a gap to the rest of the people that are behind, I could get a good offset as far as tires are concerned. So here you can see I am away, getting this race, back underway. So going through the bus stop chicane, having a bit of a moment through there as our tires are somewhat cold. So here we are going through turn 1. Andy behind myself, he did not pit during the safety car period. So I was thinking he would be able to hold MacT up. However, there you could see MacT making his way past Andy to go up into 2nd place. So now at this point, I'm thinking, Andy, just try and hold up the rest of the drivers who are behind you who did pit. I could potentially work together with MacT to be able to get a bit of a gap to the drivers who are behind. And then if there is another safety car that comes out, there will be a slight offset. There will be a bigger gap as far as when I do pit, so that I'll be able to come out of the pits in a slightly higher position as well. So here you can see in the midst of sector 2 heading toward P1, running slightly wide. There you can see MacT is about 8/10 behind myself. So doing pretty well at this point. My tires are doing well. So I have no complaints at this point. But here you could see another safety car comes out, and this completely destroys what it is that I was planning on doing or hoping would happen as far as my strategy. So safety car is out. I know I can't stay out this time. I'm gonna have to head into the pits to put on a set of hard tires to try to go to the end of the race. So here you can see we are headed into the pits. Want to make sure that we do not speed going into the pits. So here we are going to our pit box, putting on a set of hard tires, and let us see. So Andy as well, there you can see he pits as well. So coming out of the pits, we are, as you can see, we're currently in 10th place. However, Kelman makes his way past ourselves. So we are in 11th position at this point. Now we skip ahead to the midst of lap number 9. As you can see on the left side there, top left side, we are currently in 10th place. So some of us have pitted at the end of lap 8 or beginning of lap 9. So currently in 10th place, so you can see at the top of the screen, it says safety car is in this lap. And we are just weaving to get a bit of temperature into our tires. So now just waiting for whoever the front runner is, and that would be the McLaren driver of MACT to get underway. However, looked like we were getting underway, but here you can see a bit of a checkup heading through the bus stop chicane for the drivers ahead of myself. So now going through the bus stop chicane, Focoena and Kelman having a bit of a slide going through the final turn. So we are underway at the beginning of lap 10. Here you could see Kelman of the Red Bull team running wide, and this is going to give us a good chance at making our way past the Red Bull drivers. So now heading through Eau Rouge, now onto the Kemmel Straight. So we are on the battery, and there you can see making our way alongside and past the Red Bull driver of Kelman to go up into 9th place. So now we are currently behind Focoena, who Focoena is in 8th, myself in 9th. We skip ahead to the end of lap number 10, and there you could see Kelman a bit late on the brakes, and that costs us quite a bit of time as we do get DRS going through that particular straight, but we were within 0.6 of Focoena ahead of ourselves. There you can see Focoena is about 1.9 seconds ahead of ourselves, so we are not going to be able to get DRS going through this Kemmel Straight. Kelman behind me getting DRS. He's going to make his way past ourselves to go up into 9th place. We are currently in 10th at this particular point. Now skipping ahead to the end of lap number 12. There you can see Kelman having a bit of issues going through the bus stop chicane. So beginning of lap 13, as it is, and there you could see a driver making a mistake. That is Mini Tony of the Ferrari team. However, now you could see Andy making his way past us going through turn 1. So Mini Tony making a mistake, however, Andy getting past us. So no positions gained. We are currently on the battery at this point. Andy is getting slipstream off of the back of the Red Bull driver, and he is going side by side with the Red Bull driver. We are looking to make a switch back on Kelman. However, Kelman staying on the inside. So we try and go around the outside of the Red Bull driver. However, we are not going to be able to make that move. So Andy made his way past Kelman to go up into 8th place. We are still stuck in 10th. Now skipping ahead to the end of lap 13. There you can see Alex Carew making a lunge on ourselves. So he makes his way past ourselves to go up into 11th. And this is, I guess, my first experience kind of driving with the drivers in the midfield as far as these drivers are concerned. And it was kind of interesting to watch how they were driving, as you could just see. So there you can see the Yuppie making his way into the pits. These drivers are just a lot of aggressive driving and lunges, locking up, just a lot of unnecessary aggression that I was seeing, this being my first time driving within the midst of the midfield. So it's a bit of lesson learned. I'm gonna definitely have to try and not take risks that will bring me into, as here you can see, we're gonna make our way past Kelman to go up into 9th place. It's lesson learned that I'm gonna have to make sure that I do not find myself in the midfield at any point of races going forward. So now you can see we're in the midst of sector 2 on lap 16. You're gonna see we are making our way along the inside of the Haas driver of Andy, getting better traction, running it slightly wide, going through that right-hander, but we make our way past the Haas driver to go up into 8th place. Now skipping ahead to the midst of lap number 17. We are just behind Focoena. We are currently in 8th place. Here you can see Focoena making his way past my teammate, T. George. And I believe that my teammate has damage at this point. So it's unfortunate that he couldn't just let us through at this point. But there you can see him braking very late and running straight on. So that is Focoena up into 6th, myself in 7th. But here you can see Andy is right alongside ourselves, and he brakes later than us, takes that 7th place position away from ourselves. We drop down to 8th place. So I don't know. It's just like I did not have it, as there you can see us getting our second track limit warning for the race. DRS wide open for ourselves. Here you can see Kalman is nearly bump drafting us at this point. Looked like he was going to make a move. However, he stays behind us. Andy makes his way past Focoena to go up into 6th place. It just seemed as if I did not have it this race, and just drivers being a lot more aggressive than myself. So first time experiencing this, in all honesty. I haven't really put a foot wrong in the races that have taken place so far this season. We are on the beginning of lap 21, heading through the Camel Street. We make our way past Focoena to go up into 7th place. So yeah, haven't really had drives where I made like quite a bit of mistakes, except for maybe Texas. That would be the only round where I wasn't driving to the best of my ability. So here you can see at the end of lap 21, Alex Carew is making his way into the pits. That puts us into 6th place. Now heading into, well, we are currently on the final lap, heading into the turn 1 hairpin. Our job is to now try and catch the Haas driver of Andy to try and finish in at least 5th for this race. So it is DRS open for ourselves. At this point, we are not using any of the battery, as we want to try and save a bit for the end of this lap. So here you can see we are making gains on the Haas driver of Andy. We are within 4/10 of himself. There you can see he runs slightly wide going through this downhill right-hander. However, doing a good job going through that left-hander. So we are about within 6/10 of the Haas driver. Now going through Puan and deploying a bit of battery to see if we can get nearer to the Haas driver. So we have just about 1 sector left, trying to take that turn as well as possible. Did it pretty well. However, here you can see we have a bit of battery left, not using it at this point, and we are actually not gaining on Andy ahead of ourselves. So heading into, as you can see, the Modern Chicken of the Mercedes team winning this race. Heading through the bus stop chicane, we are not able to catch the Haas driver of Andy, and that is going to be ourselves, finishing in 6th place for this race. So here is a rundown of the finishing order of this race. It is the Modern Chicken finishing in 1st, Mac T 2nd, 50 in 3rd, Mahmoud in 4th, Andy 5th, myself 6th, Focoina in 7th, The Yuppie in 8th, Alex Carew in 9th, Kelman in 10th, Mini Tony 11th, MK7 Hitch in 12th, Joe B 13th, 14th, Ricky Sinicki 15th, my teammate T George 16th, Code 17th, and Louis Charles in 18th place. So as far as this race is concerned, a horrible performance. That's all I really have to say. As far as what took place in the race, the only thing that could have potentially hindered me as far as maybe finishing in 5th was that dive bomb by Kelman, which I did report. So I'm assuming he is going to get a time penalty after the stewards review that particular incident. However, we also have to look at what took place as far as the safety cars are concerned. I could have potentially pit on the first safety car. It could have potentially benefited myself, but I just don't know. Like, even if I did pit on that first safety car, I don't think I had the consistency and just the performance to get, I don't think, any higher than 4th place, in all honesty. So, I mean, the risk that I took for staying up for the second, until the second safety car, it could have potentially worked out. However, unfortunately it didn't. The only thing that played into my advantage as far as the standings is MK7 Hitch finishing in 12th place. So I'm going to be in 2nd place heading into next week's race, which that is good. However, once again, Mac T getting himself a good result, so he's going to move back up to 1st place. So that is going to be it for this race that took place around Belgium. For next week is going to be Australia. Not going to get a lot of practice going into that particular race. However, hopefully I can get it together come next week, Monday, for that round 6 race. So that is going to be it for this video, and I will see you here after round number 6, which takes place around Australia. Until then, take care.